Welcome back to the Holiday Lemmings 2024 Levels of a Commentary video series, and we're going to do 10 more levels of the daytime rank. First up, Daytime 11. Oh, Snow You Didn't, by Moby Dean, and time limited 3 minutes. And yeah, this level title just comes from how Moby Dean saw a level of mine called Snow Way. And yeah, he kind of asked me if it was okay for him to use this title. Oh, Snow You Didn't, you know, a play on "Oh no, you didn't," and I said, "Yeah, of course you can use it." Yeah, it's not like I own the rights to the title or anything. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's perfectly fine for levels to repeat previously used titles. Yeah, it's happened a lot, so yeah, definitely no problem at all. And oh yeah, it looks like I needed to resolve this one as well. So I don't know what actually changed there, but yeah, just gonna load the most recent replay here. Yeah, that's solid terrain. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and build so that we can climb over. Yeah, let us know here. And yeah, tricky obstacle, but able to climb it and then bash on through. Yeah, max out the release rate here. Oh. Yeah, in the meantime, yeah, just before the basher finishes, I go ahead and make everyone else a climber. And then, yeah, one more basher. I don't know if it's possible to place the basher in such a way so that he keeps on going, so that only one basher is needed. But well, yeah. And now all there's left to do is that once they drop down the other side, is to turn them around with a walker. Yep, and that's pretty much it. Easily done just by pausing the game. It's just like frame stepping. A pretty nice one. Yeah, even if it's a bit excessive on the assigning the same skill. Daytime 12, Santa and Elf Toy Manufacturing Company. By Moby Dean and time limit of 5.5 minutes. I do believe originally Moby Dean thought this level was impossible because he didn't provide enough time. But yeah, I was able to get a working solution. But I was like, yeah, the time limit's too tight here, so consider like easing it up and providing some more leeway. And so yeah, that's what happened. I think it was originally a 3-minute low. But I was like, yeah, let's increase the time limit here so as to not make it so tight. So bash on through and then stack. And then platform across. Yeah, then bash all the way through, it appears. Yes. Yeah, we wish you a Merry Christmas, of course, with the music. And then platform across. And yeah, and then bash on through here. Yeah, platform. Bash on through. And then platform. Yeah, and then the rest of it is just building to get up to the exit. Yeah, and then we're just going to go ahead and bash on through, and then at this time I go ahead and release the crown by bashing away the stack. Yeah, and then finally I just laser on through, and then that's it. So yeah, if this was the original 3-minute time limit, I would have had just 13 seconds to spare. Daytime 13, The Island and Misfit Toys by Moby Dean, and then time limit 4 minutes. Yeah, don't worry, we're going to see some more of Amani's lows. Oh, this appears to have been another one that broke. Yeah, I'm able to get over that just fine. Feds on through. Okay, and then I go ahead and block behind the lead lemming here. Then I go ahead and build across the gap. Yeah, that's just decoration, and then of course keep building over the gap. Okay, and then same thing here. And now we're gonna get some more builder pickups here. And just gonna go ahead and build twice so that he turns around. Yeah, that didn't quite connect with the tree there, so need to build again. And then same thing here, gonna build. Okay, mine. And then bash once we're low enough. Okay, and go ahead and repeatedly build here. Yeah, and then right here, gonna go ahead and laser on through. So that creates a path to the exit that we're gonna keep on building. Yeah, didn't quite close out the gap there, so we need another builder. Then just one more builder to turn around. And then finally laser on through. Here, release the crowd here. And then I use the last lemming going to the left to release the blocker by fencing. Then finally I just turn them both around by having them build. Yep, and that's it. Very, very nice level though. Yeah, and would this be one of Amani's? Yes. Daytime 14, Sky Shield by Amani, and then time limited 3.5 minutes. I do believe that level title is a reference to StarCraft 2. So in particular, Legacy of the Void. Yeah, because there's a mission called Sky Shield. Yeah, if I recall correctly. Okay, gonna go ahead and stack. One lemming will slip on by, the others will be contained. And yeah, this one can be challenging, but yeah, and indeed I did fall for a trap here. And it took me quite a while before I finally saw what needed to happen, and then I get a working solution. By the way, he becomes a slider. And then platform across the gap, of course. And yeah, at this time I go ahead and send up a climber going to the left, and who will platform. Yeah, this lemming will keep on traversing the terrain on the right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and shimmy across this gap here. And then platform up this gap. Alright, and then what happens here? Yeah, and then they just pretty much all go to the same area. Yeah, both workers. No, yeah, he could just climb over the stack, no problem. This guy, on the other hand, will shimmy here. And yeah, this was pretty difficult to spot, but it's a very nice one. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bomb the climber here, so as to remove the terrain, and then also keep this shimmer going. Yeah, it's important to keep the slider alive here. Alright, and then yeah, there's a like 1 to 2 pixel gap here. But yeah, we're not gonna like platform that up or anything. Instead, we're gonna do that over here in order to catch the crowd that's coming. Yeah, we're gonna make sure that he does a turn around here. Okay, and then because he's a slider, he goes out the other way to get a head start. And then here, he's going to go out the wrong way, so therefore we need to stop that by shimming. And then finally bash onto it to get to the exit, and that's it. So very, very nice level, but again, it can be challenging. Yeah, it definitely took me a while before I spotted the bombing the stack away to release the crowd and whatnot. And then at the same time, he also has to remove the terrain so that the shimmer keeps on going. Daytime 15, Roller Coaster Mountain by Moby-Dian, and then time limit of 5 minutes. Yeah, another very nice open-ended level here. Let's go. Okay, Okay, so I'm going to bomb and then go ahead and bash. Yeah, this makes a turnaround point here. And yeah, gonna go ahead and shimmy in order to collect the builder pickups. I believe this is called Hark the Angels. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and laser while one goes on ahead and then block behind the leader. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and build in order to collect some more pickups. So these are platformers, I think? Yes. Yeah, he falls on through before the gap here, and yeah, this is just background. Yep, platform twice and then go ahead and build. Bash on through. Yeah, and then I think we just platform up the rest of the gap here. Yeah, and then I release the blocker by just assigning a walker to him. Yeah, and then we bash on through. Max out the release right here. And then just bash on through to get to the exit. And then, yeah, I need to stop him with a walker, or else the basher will keep on going. Yep, and that's it. So, quite a nice open-ended low here. Daytime 16, Melikalikimaka. Yeah, that's the music that was playing on Daytime 2 by Moby Dean and then time limited 3 minutes. And as I mentioned, yeah, I believe that's the Hawaiian word for Christmas.
Let's go!
Yep, at the start we just fall and collect some builder pickups. And yeah, appropriately enough, Melikalikimaka plays on this low as well. Okay, and then, yeah, go ahead and block, yeah, with the Lemming that just falls. Yeah, so to make a pass-through blocker for the others. Then we build twice across the gap. And then build again to collect the basher pickups. Okay, laser on through. Okay, build to go over the palm tree here. Okay, and then build to get over here. And yeah, don't really need those pickups because one builder is enough to get to the exit. And yeah, I just release the blocker with a walker here. Yeah, max out the release rate. Okay, bash on through and then finally cancel with a walker. And that's it. So, very nice. So I suppose those other pickups, they can just be considered bonus. Yeah, if you wanted to go for them. Doesn't really matter, as the solution shows. Yeah, you don't even need them. Daytime 17. Like a snowman inside a fridge. Yeah, by Amani and Moby Dean. So Amani came up with the design, while Moby Dean came up with the solution. And as you might expect, yeah, this is just an open-ended low.
Let's go!
So yeah, we need to float at the start here because it is a splat hatch. Yeah, up on the housetop. So block here. Next one becomes a floater, and then we're gonna go ahead and make a platform now. And then we're just gonna keep assigning floaters in the meantime here. Yeah, and then I just have the builders join together so as to speed up the building a bit in order to catch them. And in this way, we don't lose anyone due to splatting. And then set up one of the floaters as a climber. Okay, build to get on top here. Okay, fence on through. Oh yes, and then once we're high enough, we're gonna go ahead and bash on through. Okay, build to get out of this pit here. And oh yeah, that's this right here. This is the route here. Yeah, able to get on through. Yeah, I confused this part right here with a solid terrain. And then bash on through. And then, oh yes. And then at the same time, I also go ahead and release the crowd by building. So it takes 2 builders, it appears, yes. Yep, and that's already it. So, yeah, once again, the lemming count is a bit on the high side here, since the route was already done, yeah, before everyone was out. And then finally, go ahead and bomb the blocker. Excuse me. Alrighty, daytime 18, Inside Out by Money. So, can definitely be one of the hardest levels up the pack, but it's really all about taking advantage of the permanent skills here. And yes, my pre-testing solution was a back row, so this level was updated. And yeah, admittedly, I did check the intended solution before the pack's release, I believe. But you know, I didn't come back to this level until like practically a year later. So therefore, by that time, I pretty much have forgotten what the solution was. But it doesn't matter because I'm one of those people where like, yeah, I'd rather not like spoil myself again. So yeah, it took me a while, but I eventually figured the solution out on my own. So, platform with the first lemming, this next one would become a swimmer. Yeah, he finishes just in the nick of time before anyone else falls into the water. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dig before the teleporter here. Excuse me. Yeah, and then we just let him fall for a bit and then make him a glider. And then we're gonna go ahead and plop him up this gap. So this is one of those levels where, yeah, where the sequencing of skills, yeah, is very, very important here. You need to take proper care of the order here, or you're not gonna get the level solved. Yeah, there's many pitfalls that you can fall for. And then we're gonna go ahead and platform, and then he will turn around. That's okay because he's a swimmer, and he will swim across to use the other teleporter, one marked with green dots. Yeah, and then because he's a glider, yeah, he hits the steel block and goes out to the left. Okay, and then use the remaining platformer for this gap. Alrighty, now the difficult part. Yeah, it is important to realize that it is perfectly fine to make an opening to the water because of the fact that he's a swimmer. So if you don't use that fact, you will not get through this wall properly here in the middle. So it took me quite a while to realize that. Yeah, because I kept avoiding the water. And as a matter of fact, that's what my first solution did. It didn't take advantage of the water here. So yeah, so he stops because he's a swimmer, and he just swims in it. And now going back to the left, we're gonna go ahead and dig down at the edge. And then finally, once we're low enough, we're gonna go ahead and mine the crowd out, and that's it. So in my first solution, I pretty much just had everyone use this teleporter, and they all go out the correct way. Since if any of them go out to the right, except for the swimmer, yeah, you're gonna get some Lemmings kill, which you can outboard. So yeah, so because we ducked before the teleporter, everyone's gonna go out in the correct direction. But yeah, this can be very, 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 very difficult to see. But again, you're not gonna be able to get this to work if you don't take advantage of the water here, because Amani made sure that nothing else is possible except for this way. So yeah, if you realize this though, and bear the fact that the worker is a swimmer, then you should be fine. So before I found the solution, yeah, I just kept trying to like maybe platform at the top and everything, but it's not possible for you to reach the other side. You do that, yeah, other than like platforming at the very edge of the gap here. Yeah, because the gap isn't as big. But over here, however, yeah, it is like it barely reaches the other side. But you will have to do that at the very last possible pixel, yeah, before touching the water. But by that time, yeah, there will be some timing issues. Yeah, the crowd arrives too early, and you don't finish the gap on time. And plus, this will very likely cause you to use 2 platformers, which you cannot afford. Yeah, instead it needs to be in these logical places that you might expect the solution to have. But yeah, other than that, yeah, you realize to use the swimmer skill to its full potential here, then you should be fine. And then failing that, yeah, it can definitely be one of the most difficult levels, yeah, at the back. Daytime 19, Louis Lemmings' Candy Factory by Moby Dick, and then time limited 3 minutes. Yeah, here the level titles reference to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, a really nice film, especially if you've seen the Gene Wilder version. And then Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney here, or rather, Paul McCartney and Wings. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and bash to get underneath the steel here. Okay, bash on through again. And then we're gonna go ahead and build to get over. Okay, bomb to get on through. And then same thing here, bomb to get through. And now the rest of it is just building to get high enough, and then to bash on through to get to the exit. Yeah, and then make sure to max out the release right here. Okay, bash on through, and then stop the basher with a builder, and that's it. So, very nice. And a very nice looking lower at that. Alrighty, and the final level for today, Daytime 20, Watch Your Step by Money. So yeah, another one that's a contender for hardest level to pack. Yeah, but it's more overwhelming than not, just because of all the pickups everywhere, and you don't start with any skills either.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we are locked in a 9-9 release right here, and then we just collect these pickups since we just get to them naturally. Yeah, and then he becomes a climber, and yeah, this is a safe fall for them. No, it's not. No, but there's an up drop down here, so yeah, it makes it a safe fall for the others. Okay, and then bash on through, where the crowd will be contained. And then, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stone the last lemming up here. And then bash on through to the left over here, where we will collect some more pickups. Okay, platform up the gap. Yeah, and I believe everyone else just stays put for the time being. And yes, we're gonna go ahead and bash on through, and because of the stoner here, yeah, the basher is able to keep on going. So yeah, there was definitely some things that I fell for here, where I thought it would be the right solution and everything, but then it causes me to be like a skill short later on and stuff. And then what did I do? I think the climber also becomes a slider here. Yes. So that we can collect these pickups, and then stacked here. I think it was right here. Yes. So, and then this lemming will go ahead and shimmy to the right. Excuse me. And then, yeah, he becomes the climber. Okay, block here. Yeah, we're gonna use the miner to bounce off the blocker. Yeah, like so. This is to release the crowd at the bottom here. And I do believe he is a sacrifice now. Yeah, because all there's left to do now is to simply build to get up the miner tunnel. So that climber's a sacrifice, and then same thing with this blocker, and that's it. So as you can see, yeah, all the pickups need to be collected except the ones on the outside, of course. Well, and this one, yeah, it looks like it's one that you need, but no, you don't need it at all. So a very, very nice level here, which can definitely be worked out logically, but again, there's some obstacles in which you might like fall for and stuff. Yeah, that would cause you to be at least a skill short. But you know, just as long as you take it one at a time, yeah, then it should be fine. Yeah, even though it looks like intimidating and difficult. And it's like I said, yeah, it can definitely be a contender for one of the hardest levels of the pack. Alrighty, so that was 10 more levels of the daytime rank. So next time we will finish up the remaining 5 levels and hence the rest of the pack. So with this, hope you enjoyed the Holiday Lemmings 2024 level solving commentary video, and I'll see y'all next time for the final part.